Hello, friends. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Michaela and I make adult coloring videos here on this channel. And today I have the fourth episode of my coloring community chat. I can't believe we're already 4 episodes into this. But today I have a really exciting guest. I have Corey from Colorfully Optimistic with me. Corey, tell us a little bit more about yourself and what kind of videos you make on your channel.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for having me. So with my channel, obviously adult coloring, but I tend to stick to, well, I'm kind of one of those people that's wherever the wind blows me that week, but I do a watercolor, a lot of hair. I'm sure a lot of people who do know my channel have seen the hair. I'm known for the hair. Um, but yeah, I like to do tutorials and reviews and all that fun stuff and just teach my love of coloring and just kind of get it out there so more people know about it. I just feel like it needs to be known.
Absolutely. I will leave her channel linked down below if you guys have never heard of her before for any reason. Go check her out. Um, when did you really get into adult coloring slash when did it turn into a big part of your life?
Oh gosh. So I actually started it. Okay, how old's my daughter? I always do the math this way. So almost 6 years ago. So back then, adult coloring wasn't very popular. Like Johanna Basford had just started coming out with stuff. But I was pregnant with my youngest and I was going to have a long hospital stay. And so I was like, gosh, what am I going to do? I can't watch TV for like 6 days. And so I think my husband had mentioned it. And so I kind of looked online and got like a cheap set of pencils and two like coloring books. And so I did that at the hospital. And, people were looking at me all wacky, like, what is this chick doing? I'm like, just leave me be. But I found it so relaxing. And then during my recovery, I was like locked in our room for, oh my gosh, like 4 or 6 weeks. It was just forever. And so I kept coloring and I ordered a Johanna Basford book and some better pencils than the very scary ones I had. And now if I use those, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this thing? Um, but yeah, so it kind of just bud from there. Like I was, it was all I could do because I was, I'd watch TV, the baby would sleep, but I would color and I was like, this is so relaxing. This is so fun. And so I just started to really get into it. Like once I was up moving around, I started looking into more books. And then we all know how that goes. You would just go down a rabbit hole and as it grew in popularity, I'd say the past 3 years, it's finally become like people accept it and don't look at you weird when you're just coloring in public. Um, but yeah, the more stuff came out and I just kept going with it from there. So, I mean, I guess we should thank my daughter into the story on that.
I'm sure when you first started doing it at the hospital, you're probably like, nah, I mean, it probably won't turn into anything and like look where you are now.
Yeah, I was doing the old school, you outline with a darker color and use a lighter color to color in the lines. That was my coloring back then. And I still have some of the books I colored from back then, and I look at them and I'm like, oh, yeesh, yikes. Oh, nope. I'm
Oh
just like,
my
look,
goodness.
it was bad. I mean, even my first Johanna Basford book, I was just like, what on earth was I doing? But yeah, I mean, over the years, I've obviously improved, but coloring is like any hobby though. You just you got to keep practicing it. There are those people that are like, I've been coloring for 2 months and they're making these work of art, and you're like,
Oh my
okay, I
gosh.
feel really bad about myself right now.
I feel
But
that. Let's see. I guess speaking of colored pencils, what's your all-time favorite brand for colored pencils?
Okay, well, that is really easy. And then, like, anyone that does follow my channel would like easily chime this one in because I am a Prismacolor junkie. I love my Prismacolors. They're my babies. I joke that I would save them in a fire. I mean, yes, I would grab my kids, but Prismacolor would also be on the fire escape plan. I even have them in extra overstock in jars. Like I have a whole inventory. Like you run out of a color, and I'm like, no, I got 5 of those. It's fine. So yeah, hands down Prismacolor. I've tried a lot, but every time I just go back to my babies. They are, oh, they're so lovely.
Awesome. If you could color out of just one coloring book for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Oh gosh.
I know that's hard.
I like buy books and I'm like, I'm totally gonna finish this one and then I do a page. So I mean definitely Flowerscape. That is my favorite book. The second I bought it, I was like, you know what? I could actually color every page, and it's the first book that ever did that. And it's just, it's botanical. I don't know if you've seen Flowerscape or have it. But it is very pretty artwork, and it's got a little bit of its own twist, but what I love is how she integrates it into every page. Like she'll have just one flower for you to color, and then it's in like this monster spread later. Not gonna lie, her double page spreads, I think I spent a month on one of them, but that would probably be the only one I could ever like it, just if that was all I could take with me, it would be that one.
I'm not sure I've actually ever heard of that before.
Oh, it's beautiful. I am like such a crazy fan. I'm right now actually coloring it cover to cover in only Prismas. But it's because it's the one book where I'm like, oh yeah, I could do this. Whereas everything else, you get to a page and you're like, well, I would be
Right.
forcing that one. So
I get that.
yeah.
Also a challenge doing cover to cover, like just front to back.
Oh yeah, but it's fun. I really enjoy her art style. And then I'm using my favorite pencil so I can just smush and have my happiness. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I have my this month's page. I haven't started yet, but I will get there.
Nice. What inspired you to create content on YouTube to begin with?
Oh gosh. So YouTube helped me a ton learn how to color. So back when I first started, like I said, it wasn't very popular. Like now, how there's tons of us, but back then there was like five. So it was just, very limited. But Prismacolors, when I got them, I hated them. Like I didn't know how to use them. And so I started watching another YouTuber, Julie's Passion for Coloring. I'm sure you've seen her. She's been around forever, but she taught me everything about Prismacolors. And what's funny is she never even talks in her videos. She just puts down the color and you're like, oh my gosh, I learned so much. But so I loved that there was someone there teaching me. And then as I developed kind of my own style and kind of found things that I really like to do, but there's not much content out there for it, I was like, well, you know what, maybe I'll make a channel and I'll just start teaching like my style of coloring. And so yeah, just one day I decided to do it. Didn't plan on it like going this far. I was like, I got 10 subscribers. So I'm like, woohoo. And then it just kept growing. And I was like, oh, okay. So we're doing this. Okay. But yeah, it was just, I was inspired by others and I just wanted to share because all of us eventually develop our own style. And I was like, maybe someone colors more like me or my style matches and I can help at least teach them just like others have taught me.
That's a very good point. I never even thought of that. Like how people can relate to you and your channel just based on how you color and how similar some other people do it.
Exactly. Yeah, because I had found a lot of channels when I first started, but they were like layering and layering, and I don't layer. I do layer if I have to, but that's why like Julie's channel really inspired me because her style was more what I wanted to do, and then I just evolved from there into my own. But everyone is just so unique, so there's so much room for all of us out there.
That is such a good point. Wow. My mind's actually blown with that comment. Anyways, I don't know why I've never thought of that, but
I have opened your mind.
you really have. So what are some other hobbies that you have besides coloring?
I mean, I have a bunch, but like it's just a matter of time. I have 3 kids, so I have to like pick, you know? And so usually I end up doing coloring because if I don't color for the day, I actually get grouchy. I don't know if you get that way, but I get mean. But I love to read. I wish I had more time to read because there's so many books out there. I keep buying them for my Kindle. They're just sitting there with like 1%. But yeah, I love reading. I love photography. I used to, do photography. I quit a long time ago and I'm hoping I can get a nice camera and get back to it.
Mm,
Um, I most of my hobbies are artsy though. I love watercolor painting. I am starting to integrate that into my channel because I really do love it. But I used to cook a lot. However, I have a husband that likes to cook now, and if he offers, I'm like, well, sure,
I say
do
no.
it. Well, yeah, and I was actually a pastry chef for years, so cooking
Oh.
for me, I'm like, oh, I don't want to cook. Like did this for years. I'm over it. It's just like so. He's just, he's actually cooking right now, and we have a
Ooh.
deal. He better clean the kitchen after because that's our biggest thing. I'm like, are you cooking and cleaning? What's the deal? I don't clean your mess. But yeah, it's I do love to bake and stuff when I get the time and all that. But yeah, I'm pretty artsy. It's just unfortunately with time, I just go to coloring because it's relaxing and you can do it anywhere, bed, couch,
Yeah.
patio. Some of the other ones are kind of limited. I can't watercolor my bed. I could, but
Maybe
probably
a
wouldn't
struggle.
work out.
Um, I guess in regards to your photography, like what do you like taking pictures of? Like what's your favorite thing to photograph?
So back in the day when I did photography, it was before I had kids. So it was a lot of nature. I live in Utah. We're surrounded by tons of nature. I'm not a nature person. Don't ask me to go hiking or anything. I'll be like, no, I'm good, or camping. I I have my limits, but I just love to take pictures of the mountainscapes or like some random little flower I'll find. Don't ask me what it's called. I'm not a gardener. But things like that. But I think if I start getting back into it, I would really love to take pictures of my kids. I had snapped some with my phone not too long ago. Well, okay, it was like years ago now, but of them eating with messy faces, and I put them all black and white in my kitchen, and it was so cute. Had it been in color, it would have looked really bad because they had like jelly and ice cream on their faces. But in black and white, it was just so pretty. And so I'd love to like photograph my kids doing fun stuff and then get back to, of course, photographing nature because there's so much pretty stuff like autumn right now, the
Mhm.
changes we get out here and the leaves. We used to drive up the canyon and and I miss that, and I would love to take those pictures. So one day when I get that camera back, I will do it.
Absolutely. That sounds awesome. Um, I guess for reading, what's your preferred genre to read?
So I definitely love like the mystery thrillers. Um, I did go down the dystopian rabbit hole when like Hunger Games came out. I actually read Hunger Games before it became like a thing. And then it became a thing and I was like, oh shoot, now it's a trend, but so I do like some of those dystopian type ones. So yeah, it's between mystery thriller and dystopian, but sometimes I do read just straight up like autobiographies if it's someone that really inspires me. Just kind of depends. I mean, I read Game of Thrones. Okay, I'm sorry. I got halfway through the first book of Game of Thrones. And I'm trying because I love the book, but if you read it on a Kindle, you've read like 5 hours, and you know how you look at the percentage, and it's like you're 2% in. You're like,
Yeah,
what the heck?
how'd that
So
happen?
like an 800-page book or something, but I am working on that one. So I honestly, I guess I bounce all over, don't I?
A little bit, but that's totally cool.
Yeah, you got to change it up, I guess.
Oh yeah. Do you have a favorite author?
Oh gosh, back when I was reading a ton, I really loved James Patterson. In fact, one of my oh my gosh, I think this was a New Year's resolution and we're in like what, November? So wow, I really failed this one. But I was gonna reread all his Alex Cross series. And I started the first book 68% of the way through, but I haven't finished it. So
Oh
maybe
no.
that maybe that'll be next year's. But yeah, I do like James Patterson. He's always been one of my favorites. And then I really do love the Game of Thrones ones. It's just holy moly, it's defeating. I need to like buy the physical book, but then I'm afraid that would be even worse.
Because you could just see how thick it is.
Yeah, that's why I'm like on the fence. I'm like, maybe I should, I don't know. But yeah, James Patterson by far. I don't know if you've ever read his stuff. But he's always been one of my favorites.
I've never read any of his stuff. Truthfully, I'm not a huge reader.
Uh
I go like back and forth, but like it's years apart typically of like I want to read everything for like a month and then I'm not reading for like 3 years. So
That's kind of how it is for me because, like I said, I have to pick between, with the kids. I'll get like, I mean, today, for example, at 4:15, I was like, I have a couple of minutes, and I went to coloring. So I go years without reading too. And then what I think is relevant, people are like, dude, that book is like 4 years old. Like, okay, well, it's new to me.
exactly. That's funny. I guess because it's fall time, I just have a few like fall questions because why
Sure.
not? What's your
Why
favorite thing about fall time?
Oh my gosh, fall is my favorite. So the list, yeah, I don't know if you want to go down that rabbit hole. This list could be long. Everything about fall, because we are in Utah. Summers are just awful, awfully hot. Like me and my Siberian Husky pretty much hibernate in the summer. We just stay inside with the air conditioner and just, yeah. I go outside and I'm like, oh no, we're turning around. I love out here because the leaves change. And what's funny is orange is not my favorite color, but yeah, I love it on the trees. But I love the crisp mornings, all the fall flavors. I can't taste or smell any of them right now because I'm getting over COVID. So I'm really hoping that comes back. Otherwise, I'm gonna
Oh
miss my
no.
favorite season. But yeah, I mean, there's so much to love about fall. The kids going back to school and just all the fun. And then the holidays are coming up, but it's like kind of it's almost like a calm because the summer is crazy. The kids are off. You do vacations. They got friends over all the time. It's just chaos. And then fall, like they go back to school and yeah, you got all the homework and stuff, but the weather changes and just it seems like the world is calmer in a way. Like I'll go for a walk and it's just more peaceful and it's not, stifling hot. You're not suffocating
Oh
as you
yeah.
walk out there. And it's just so pretty. And then, the snow hits, and then that's when go back to, oh, shoot.
I feel that it's supposed to snow here Sunday. No, thank you.
Yeah, they said it was gonna snow this weekend. Where are you at?
Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, you get it worse. So, I
It
mean,
sucks.
I live in the state that claims world's greatest snow, and I'm like, okay, but I don't need it in front of like I don't need it in my front yard.
Exactly.
But
Stay away.
oh gosh, yeah. A white Christmas, totally down. Thanksgiving snow, no. I got my
Yeah,
limits.
exactly. If you had to pick between these four, coffee,
Uh-oh.
coffee, apple cider, hot chocolate, or tea, which one?
Well, you're asking a girl who can't taste right now, but
That's fair.
when I could taste coffee, hands down, I'm actually a coffee snob. I'm sorry to say it. I am. If you buy those nice expensive coffees, they talk about all the notes that you get, like the
Yeah.
cherry. I actually can taste them all. I actually have a really good palate. That's from and I was a pastry chef. Right now I have no palate. But yeah, once my taste comes back, I'm hoping I can just guzzle up some coffee and make up for all the lost time. But definitely coffee. I could never abandon my baby.
Coffee's amazing. I completely agree. And about the part where hopefully you could taste it again soon. I don't know if you know, but I'm actually also getting over COVID.
Oh, so you
And
can't taste either?
no, actually, I got that back, but for the first
Oh,
couple days and the smell. But for the first couple days there, my coffee just tasted like lukewarm water dirt, and I'm like, mm-mm.
see, so mine, some people said that. Okay, so with coffee, it's a robust, you get a nice robust flavor, and then it has a little bitterness at the end, but you're rewarded with that robust flavor, so the bitterness isn't a deal. Well, for me, when I go to drink it, all I get is the acidity and the bitterness, but it's like amplified. I don't get any of the good stuff.
Mm.
So it's like really nasty to drink. And I can't smell it at all. You brew it and I'm like, nope, nothing, nothing.
That was me for like 3 days. Yeah, that was very odd.
See, I'm jealous because I think I'm on week 2, 3. I don't know, it feels like 5 months, but I think I'm on week 2 or 3.
It's so crazy though how like it affected us completely different.
I know. Like my husband got his back in a week. I hate him because he's like, "Ooh, taste this." I'm like, dude, can I taste? So, but yeah, everyone, I've heard people say months, and I'm like, okay, if it's months, I'm gonna be one cranky bear on Thanksgiving. That's all I gotta
Oh
say.
no.
I want my pie and I want it to taste like pie.
Exactly. I hope it's back by then.
Me too. We'll see.
I guess speaking of more food, I gotta ask, candy corn, amazing or trash?
I got mixed feelings with candy corn. It really depends on my mood. But most of the time I won't eat it. I love candy and sweets. I'll gobble those things for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I have to be in the mood for candy corn. So I guess I'm an in-betweener on that one. Because I will eat it. I wouldn't say it was trash, but I wouldn't be like, if you gave me a bag right now, well, right now I'd be like, oh, cool, I can't taste it. But if I could taste and you gave me a bag right now, I'd have to be in the mood.
Fair enough. That's interesting. I included that question in my fall coloring tag I did, and no one answered like that I saw.
Oh, really?
So either people were really one way or the other. I've never really had an in-betweener.
I'm definitely in between on it because I mean, there was times I would sit there and eat a bowl of it because I was just like, oh, that sounds so good. And then I wouldn't touch it like the rest of the year because I was like, oh my gosh, I overdid it. So I got to be in the mood, ask my kids though, and they'll be like, sure, give me some cereal bowl and a spoon. I'll be down.
Okay. I guess describe your ideal cozy fall day.
Oh my gosh. Ideal. So I have this chair I bought specifically to sit in this corner of my living room. It looks out the window. We have a view of the mountains and no houses, so it's just so pretty. And I would love to just sit there with a cup of coffee that I can taste. Um, and just, like mid-morning, when the air is crisp with the window open, so you get all that fresh air and just watch like the leaves because we get little gentle breezes and just those fall leaves blowing around. That would be, and just sitting there in peace. I have 3 kids, so peace doesn't happen like ever. So that would be just my ideal. I would sit there all day. Like and I would have my coloring and my journaling there and just chill. And oh my gosh, now I want to go do that.
Treat yourself.
I can't. There's so much to do.
One of these days.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a day off and just ship the kids off because
Exactly.
yeah, and just sit there and be like, you know what, Michaela said I could, so
So that means you
sorry.
have to do
Exactly.
it. I guess to end off the last question, if you could say anything to somebody who wants to begin an adult coloring channel, what piece of advice would you give them?
It's so funny you asked that. Someone asked me that this morning.
Interesting.
So this answer is fresh in my head. Honestly, just be yourself. The biggest thing I do is I just, if you want to start a channel, don't worry about what everyone else is recording. Just, do you. Like, if you want to literally just color backgrounds, because that's your happy place, color backgrounds. Someone is out there searching for backgrounds. You don't have to worry about following trends or, so and so made this video, so you want to do it too. You just be you and be the real you. You don't need to put on a persona. People are going to love you for who you are. And that's actually what helps your channel grow, is if you're real. And half the time I don't even edit my videos anymore. My Scout the husky has become famous in my videos for all the noise she makes, but that's me. So the biggest thing is just, start your channel, don't be afraid, but then when you do, just be yourself and people will love you. And those are the best subscribers, is people who subscribe because they love you and your content. So that's the best thing I could give.
I completely agree. That is great advice. Well, thank you so much, Corey, for joining me today. Is there anything else you want to add before we end off?
Oh gosh, if you asked me at like early in the morning when my brain was on, possibly, but by 5, I'm like, wait, what day is it? No, I think all your questions were awesome. I'm jealous about the food thing, but don't worry. I won't hold it against you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Be salty for a week. She asked me about food. No, I'm kidding. Um, but no, I don't think I have anything to add other than I just hope anyone who's out there getting into coloring just, has fun with it. The biggest thing I see is people won't color or share on Instagram or like in my Discord or Facebook groups. They're afraid to share because they're beginners. And that just breaks my heart because all of us are beginners. Like my first pictures looked like my 9-year-old. Now, actually, she does better than me. So my pictures were just awful, but we all start somewhere and just keep coloring, have fun. The whole point is it's supposed to relax you. So and never ever compare yourself to others because that's just the worst little rabbit hole to go down because we're all so different, and I just think if you just dive in and have fun, it'll really show in what you create. Even if you just straight up color with one color, no shading, just have fun and enjoy it and just start. Like, don't be afraid to start.
I absolutely love that. And I'm really grateful that you joined me today here. Thank you so much again.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you everyone who was watching, or I guess listening in this case. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to be playing right now over the top of this audio, or it could just be the audio. I'm really not sure yet. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below and go subscribe to Corey. Definitely, I'm leaving her channel link down below. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.